Hi, welcome to the redox.com video course series. This class is dedicated to helping us understand osteoporosis, a very common problem for adults in our country and in all industrialized countries around the world. Tonight we're going to talk about the basics and also talk about some redox molecule solutions for osteoporosis. So let me give you a little background about osteoporosis. It's essentially a decreasing bone strength that leads to fractures, mainly in our spine and our forearms in the elderly. And it's more common in women than men, and roughly anywhere from 10 to 25% of older adults have some degree of osteoporosis. So the basic problem revolves around a battle that goes on between osteoblasts and osteoclasts. So osteoblasts build cells in the bone, and osteoclasts actually take down cells. And so it's a battle. These guys deposit calcium. These guys eliminate calcium. So calcium is what gives strength to our bones, and osteoblasts build calcium, and it makes kind of a network, a matrix, almost like a three-dimensional cobweb inside our bones. It gives them incredible strength. And so the mineralization starts to break down when the osteoclasts take over. And there's a lot of things that we do in our body that we need to have this dynamic balance. For example, if my body is becoming very acidic because of some condition or disease, my osteoclasts get a message and they start to take the calcium out of my bones and put it into my other cells. It's like having a bank of calcium carbonate. It's like having Tums available to neutralize the acids in my body. So it's wonderful to have this bone bank of calcium, but we want to keep it in the bone so our structure is strong. Without strong bones, we really can't live a vital life, and our skeletal structure starts to change. So our bone mass naturally declines after about 30. It's a gradual decline. The key is to have that slope be very gradual instead of steep. For women, it takes a steep drop right around the age of 50 during menopause. And so we know estrogen affects this balance of osteoblasts and osteoclasts. So we accelerate the breakdown of our calcium-strong bones when we add certain medications to our bodies. So it turns out stomach acid reducers, especially proton pump inhibitors like the purple pill, it changes the way we absorb calcium in our stomach because there's not enough acid to absorb the calcium with. And so people that take proton pump inhibitors for more than 5 years or so see a drop in their bone mass. So those stomach pills are not exactly safe. Antidepressants like Prozac, SSRIs, they will actually cause a drop in our bone mass as well. And steroids like prednisone, very strong steroids, will do the same. We also notice an acceleration if people do not exercise, if they have low vitamin D levels, if they smoke, and if their diet is high in animal protein. Animal protein is acidic, and you need a nice balance in our diet. So that's why we always say about 80% of your diet should be vegetables and fruits, and about 20% of your diet, everything else, so that we don't have this buildup of too much acid that the bone bank has to neutralize. Okay, so the treatment in modern medicine is basically with a medication called biphosphates, Fosamax. Those kinds of medicines cause the osteoclast to shut down and the osteoblast to work. And these have some serious side effects. They're not inexpensive, and many people want to try to avoid them. But I will tell you, if you're deep in trouble with osteoporosis, the drugs like Fosamax can really save your health. So always listen carefully to your doctor. But what could we do for ourselves? What could we do without doctors' interventions that might help? So there's some great little studies I ran across. One was from the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry in 2007. And in this study, they postulated that because we know that osteoclasts when their activity is up and going, there's an increase in free radical formation and an increase in lipid peroxidation. This is basically free radicals. So these guys cause a sort of a breakdown in the tissues, and we have a burden of lots of free radicals in our body. So these authors said, well, what if we were to provide resources to increase our antioxidants and then do a study before and after? So they did. And they took a look at about 75 people with osteoporosis and did a number of blood markers. And then they divided people into groups. They had a group they gave vitamin E, a group they gave vitamin C, and then a group they gave both, and a group they gave none. And it was absolutely fascinating because the best group, yep, you guessed it, the group that was treated together had improvements in their serum antioxidant levels for superoxide dismutase, glutathione, and it only took 90 days to see that big of a shift. So here are people who are seriously battling osteoporosis who are getting benefits from taking these vitamins that improve our antioxidant levels. So what's up with that? How could that be such a good thing? And why isn't everybody doing this? Well, back in the 80s, taking vitamin E and vitamin C was like, well, that's weird. You know, why would you do that? That sounds like voodoo. Well, today, if you have surgery and you're in the hospital, your doctor, your surgeon is going to give you vitamin E and vitamin C to help your healing process because he knows that it provokes the nuclear production of your antioxidants. That's what we use to heal. So anyway, so yeah, that's something we can do. But beyond that, what else could you contemplate to really make these antioxidants work even better? And it turns out that antioxidants, we know, improve repair work, reduce free radicals, and reduce inflammation. And what is glutathione and superoxide dismutase, what do they need the most to make their work efficient? They need redox molecules. So not only can we provoke the production of these guys, but what if we could leverage their work? So there's been a study that was done back in 2009 on human lung cells in a tissue culture. And they looked at the changes in the action of glutathione when those cells were exposed to a toxin. And it turned out that when redox molecules were introduced to the cell culture, the ability for the antioxidants to deal with the toxin was improved by over 500%. Now, these are human lung cells in a tissue culture. It's not like a real person like these studies were. But it gives you a rough idea of what is possible when we provide our body with a resource of redox molecules. Now, today you can supplement your body with redox molecules. And that has a way of improving the efficiency of our antioxidants. So in addition to being able to perhaps take some vitamins or eating a diet that has got a better balance of nutrients that are going to help your cells produce our own natural antioxidants, you can ramp up the efficiency of these antioxidants by many percentage points by providing your body a resource of redox molecules and improving your redox potential. So osteoporosis, a big problem. You need medical therapy if you're deep in trouble, but wouldn't it be great if we could prevent the decline in our bones by simply giving our body the things it needs to prevent this free radical formation and just the burden of oxidative stress. So I hope that's helpful. It's a lot of fun to understand our bodies at a cellular level, and we'll see you at the next class.